Black Air Force Energy.
All right. Okay, now, much respect to the family. Much respect. All right, y'all. So what we're going to do is, let me see what we got. Yeah, we got this. Okay, now. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. What we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and have us a great show. All right. This is your boy Smitty for the evening, Mr. Seven himself. I hope your day has been doing good. And I would like to introduce my oh so lovely, oh so beautiful, oh so wonderful guest. Everybody, give it up. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know when she's in the building, she going to give y'all that smoke, but she's going to do it in a loving, touching way. Let's get it. All right, now. There we go. Hold on. Where we at? Where you go?
I'm right here.
There you go. Miss. Okay, now. What is doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why this thing messing. There we go. I was trying to figure out why it's messing with me. Nah, we good to go.
It might be a little bit.
Man, that's just listen, man. It's the juju trying to mess with me, but we're gonna have a good show. We are going to have a good show.
Very much so.
So this evening, of course, what we're going to be talking about today is basically beauty standards.
Yes.
Miss Polly. I think we should talk about beauty standards this evening, So I think we should take the time to look at how we see it. Now, before we get started, is there anything that you wanted to go ahead and talk to the people, introduce yourself for those who just might not know you? So on and so forth.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Miss Polly. I know some people may know, some people might not know, but I am Polly. So I kind of live that lifestyle. I won't say kind of, I live that lifestyle. But for the most part, like talk about relationships between people and places and things, and I like to have those conversations. So obviously I come on panels, talk about relationships and how those relationships can make your life good or bad or whatnot, and how we can work on making better connections. I did send you, Smitty, I did send over a link on Facebook. So one of the things I do like is that I find that I do meet a lot of people and they have quality things to share with the world, and I obviously want to be helpful and promote those things also. So there is a gentleman who makes beats, and he's made a few beats for me that I haven't put into use yet, but I will be putting into use. And I wanted to share his information out there so that other people who are starting channels or want to just add something or take a little bit stress off of the things that we have to do. He does editing. So he goes by Dead Peel. So he has editing and things like that. So if you guys like to take a look, I want to promote that brother. And I did send a link to you, but maybe you can put that in the, I'll try to do it myself, but technology is not always my point.
How about this? Yeah, we both can go ahead and do it. If you have it,
Yeah.
I'm in here right now, so
Okay.
I'll go ahead and try to put it there, and you can do the
And
same thing as well.
yeah, he has some good stuff that and some things I think he's working on new catalog. So he has some things that are older, some things that he tweaks, but he just puts things out there sometimes. Obviously just to let people know, see and hear some stuff. And so some things, if they're started, maybe there's like a little bit of insert and then we'll add additional later. I'm not sure. I don't know that man's business, but I know that if you like something, you hear it, you want to hear something else, or you have an idea, you can give it to him and then he'll put it together. Because then you can clearly see, I'd be like, listen, I feel this way. Can you make me a song? That's how I feel. Can you make me a beat? This is how I feel today. He could do that. Maybe
right.
guys don't feel that way. So yes, we'll do that.
I definitely love that. Yes, we're going to get into that, and I'm going to make sure that that's dropped on my end.
Yeah.
Go ahead and kick it off. And as the videos is playing, so on and so forth, when we talk, and I'll go ahead and make sure I put it in there too.
Okay. Thank you
Much,
so much.
man,
Mhm.
absolutely, girl. Come on now. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right.
Okay,
So
and I'm still here just one moment too, because I'm just gonna grab something. I want y'all to see me run around. Hang
go and do what you got to do. You all right? All right. So look, for this evening, what we're going to be talking about is beauty standards, and has social media messed up how we look at the beauty standards when it comes to women? Uh, has it become to the point where we actually have to do a whole bunch of super extra stuff just to keep up with these standards, in which some people would say are unrealistic? Some people would say are just not really reliable because of filters, whatever it may be. The beauty standards of, if a woman chooses to put on weave or makeup or a wig, the beauty standards. How much do we look at what natural beauty standards are as opposed to what people want nowadays to keep up with the dozens? Okay. So what I'm going to do is, while the oh so lovely Miss Polly is getting herself together, you take your time, beloved. If you can hear my voice, don't you worry about nothing. We got this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get to the first clip. All right.
Okay,
You right?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get to this first clip. All right. So I'm going to add this. I'm going to share my screen. Let's go ahead and let's listen to this now. Okay. Whatever. And now, as you know, let me know if you want me to pause it. This video, this first one is 3 minutes. If it's any point you want me to pause it so you can say something, let me know.
Okay.
Let's go ahead, rock out. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 8:26 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in. If Miss Polly finds it feasible, we will drop the link, but only if she says so. Let's get it.
What if I told you that the beauty standards you see online aren't just influenced by trends or celebrities, but by artificial intelligence? AI is shaping the way we define beauty, sometimes in ways we don't even realize. Let's break it down. First up, AI-powered beauty filters. Ever noticed how filters on Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat don't just smooth your skin, but actually reshape your face? AI learns from millions of images and creates an ideal look. Smaller nose, bigger eyes, sharper jawline. The more we use these filters, the more they reinforce a specific type of beauty.
Smaller nose, sharper. Yeah, you know, I'm hearing all European. I'm just going to be honest. I'm gonna just kick
Yes,
it
you
off.
are. You
Like,
are.
we're not even going to, like, you know what I'm saying, go with the bush. I'm hearing all European.
We
Uh,
are. Yeah,
what do you hear with that, beloved? Why you know what I'm saying, take a quick moment.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I do hear that. Like the smaller nose, smaller features, everything, petite, small. Yeah. And that a lot of people aren't petite and small. And I don't mean like overweight. When I'm talking about like those actual things, like you know what I'm saying? Like your nose, it's not like, do you have any control over that? So yeah. Yeah. I hear European, like you're saying, most of the time they don't have those larger features. So
And we know this, you know. But let's go ahead and get
yeah.
back to it, see what we got.
Yeah.
As normal. Then there's AI-generated influencers. You've probably seen Lil Miquela or other virtual beauty models. They have perfect skin, flawless makeup, and never age. Unlike human influencers, AI beauty models don't have bad days, breakouts, or unfiltered moments. The result? A beauty ideal that's literally impossible to achieve. But it's not just filters and influencers.
Do you believe that these influencers nowadays are bringing about a beauty standard that basically is impossible for most women to achieve? Or do you believe that what most people see is impossible to achieve is just simply what we would call back in the days elbow grease and hard work? You know what I'm saying?
It depends. I think we said the influencers or so, but what she just said, the
Mhm.
AI. So now they're coming up with these things. There are influencers. They're not real people. They're AI generated
Right.
characters. I'm gonna call them characters because they're not people. So these characters are portraying things, and like even down to flaws. They'll have particular flaws. Um, like you said, freckles or something like that, or the freckles in the right place. Well, basically, yeah, if you are looking at these people or even these characters, it's not realistic, right? For the characters. And then even people, they're modifying themselves. So what they're doing isn't even real. So everything is just basically, like you said, it's fake. It's not achievable unless you are performing cosmetic surgery. There is nothing that, like I said, these don't make sense. A lot of women that we see on a daily basis that, the rules give out one, which is nothing against her in particular, like Cardi B, things like that. When you see her, you looking at something, you're like, oh, she does not look like the same person, even though there's small things. And what they do is they do it a little at a time so that you get used to seeing it. I don't know if you guys know. So they'll do like a nose job, but the nose job is light. But their real goal is to get to a really small nose. So they'll take a little bit off, fix it. Then you'll get used to seeing that nose and they'll do it again. You're like, oh, it's a little bit smaller. And you're not recognizing that if you go back 5 years, you'll see that it's a total different nose. But you have to actually go back. So it's like you're modifying yourself in a slow rate so that people are getting used to seeing that picture, that look, and then they're just seeing it change a little bit. So they're not being like it's drastic. So thing is that those aren't real things. And so if you're looking at someone like Cardi B and you're like, oh, I wish I looked like that. I wish I had this small waist. And she didn't have no damn small waist like that. She didn't have it like that. And she didn't have no kids. She didn't have a small waist to the point where it's like it's her waist. And then she had the obviously the BBL done. And that's not hers. So when you look at that as a young woman or a lady, you know you're not going to get that without surgery. So it's like at this point, that's what you're thinking is like, I need to look like that.
So let me ask you this before we get back and push play on the video. Would you say that when it comes to the impression of beauty standards, do you think that is more detrimental to little girls growing up or little boys growing up? Or do you think it's equal on the impression of adolescents to adults? Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying that is because as we get older,
right,
even as children, obviously you're still thinking, okay, when I get older, because if you're a young person, you don't have a body yet, you don't have hips yet. There's a lot of times women will start modifying their bodies prior to them actually finishing puberty.
Right.
If you're messing with yourself and you're 18, you're getting breast augmentations. You don't know where your breasts are going to land. Some women, they don't even get a chest until they have children. Some women don't get hips until they have children. So if you haven't even had anything natural happen to you, and that's just the way your body looks, you're modifying something that hasn't even got to the point yet, and that's for gentlemen too. I mean, guys, yeah, they usually don't mess around with cosmetic surgery, but now that's actually not true. Like you've seen, getting taller, making themselves taller so they can be more attractive. It's all about trying to be more attractive. And what's the most funniest part about this? They're changing their physical physique to look attractive to a person who doesn't really want them for the inside anyway.
Wow.
You get the girl who doesn't like you anyway. She's not gonna like you she's gonna come be attracted and wanna, touch on your feeling. She doesn't like you. She's gonna hate you the same. She just hates you a little less when you give her some D. She's not gonna like you anyway.
Right.
It's not making any sense. And then they'll say, "Oh, I don't ever feel loved. I don't feel like I'm good enough," because you weren't good enough for them anyway. Those things that you're trying to attract.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that there are actual people who are out of some people's league? I thought we could shoot for the moon, Miss Polly. I thought that social media and the world done told us you could be it, have anybody you want, beloved. Come on now. What we talking about?
You don't want anybody. That's the problem. You got, like I've been preaching this whole time with me, what I've been preaching is find your match. Find your match. Not every man you see that you think is cute is the man you're supposed to be with. And or the woman you're supposed to be with. Some people they don't understand what it's like to be around someone who's more attractive than them, more charismatic than them, more responsible than them. Yes, you can meet someone and be like, "Oh my God, they are so responsible. Like I am so irresponsible. I have no business with that man." Like you should know that you're gonna destroy that man's life. You are horrible at those things. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So let's go ahead. The time right now, everybody, is 8:35 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. I thank you all so much for tuning in. Welcome back to the Lighthouse 301. Definitely featuring the oh so lovely, oh so beautiful and wonderful Miss Polly. All right. And I thank you for giving us your time today. So let's go ahead and let's get back to the video. Let's see what we got right here. You let me know when you want me to pause it.
Okay.
AI decides what beauty trends go viral. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok use AI-driven algorithms to push certain faces and aesthetics to the top. If the algorithm favors a specific look, we see more of it, and suddenly it becomes the new beauty standard. AI is also shaping
Real quick, can you hear that okay?
Yes.
Okay, now I was making sure. It's a little low on my end. Okay, making sure. Okay.
real-world beauty choices. AI-driven apps analyze faces and suggest improvements, whether it's
You could probably turn it up a little.
skincare products, or even cosmetic procedures. Some plastic surgeons use AI to
That's the highest it goes. It's all the way
Okay.
up. Yeah, hold on. Let me check. Yeah, that's the highest on everything. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's okay. I can
Yeah,
hear
that's
it though.
yeah, okay. Just making sure. And I apologize to everybody if it's slightly low. Just go ahead and put your thinking caps on and glue your ears to the screen. Let's get it.
predict post-surgery results, further reinforcing the idea that beauty can and should be optimized. So what's the problem? AI isn't neutral. It's trained on biased data, historically favoring Eurocentric beauty ideals. If AI systems learn from images that prioritize light skin, symmetrical features, and thinness, those become the ideal it promotes, leaving out a huge range of diverse beauty. But AI isn't all bad. It can also be used to promote inclusivity.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
When it comes to the inclusivity of beauty, and what I notice is that there has been such a huge thing. Now, I want you to tell me to the best of your ability, why is it that the world wants to be my sisters, but there are a large group of my sisters that will go as far as to bleach their skin and try everything they can to get the what we call Janet Jackson nose. You know, that Janet Jackson nose.
I do.
Yeah. What do you think? Why do you think it's that the world knows they want to be us, but what is it about most of us that you believe possibly we just don't realize that you're exactly what the world wants to be? Why change it?
So so anyway, we need to rewind just a little bit because I think what happens is we do have to make a separation. I like to make a separation between American Africans, okay, and Africans and other diversities that are with African descent, right? Because the reason why I'm saying that is because we ourselves, without having identity and being shown to self-hate ourselves so long that it's embedded in generations to be lighter, fair, smaller, don't like what you are. And yes, we see the pictures where they're like, oh, you know, the Caucasian women, they want to have bigger butts. They would have those dresses that would extend the backside, right? So things like that. And you know, we would always say, oh, that's not that they're portraying us, but then we don't want it. And they want it because there was embedded of this self-hate that we're not good. We don't look good, we're not attractive. And we have the biggest, you know, trials to overcome when it comes to that because we don't like ourselves. We're constantly don't like ourselves. And we do it amongst ourselves, you know, with the, you know, even colorism. We do it amongst ourselves. Like there's so much self-hatred within African Americans. I don't even know where they would begin to reverse it. But if you're talking about Africans, the lightening the skin, obviously, because colonization, and they came over and they were saying how they were so much better and blah blah blah, and they do a lot of lightening of their skin, and that's because the treatment of people who are fairer, the treatment of people who have more Caucasian features is positive. But in those same places, though, amongst them, because they have obviously you go there and most people look like you, right? On they look like you, so then they kind of like themselves a little more. They like big butts. They like maybe a little bit more, voluptuous women. They like sometimes they like the darker skin. If I went there, I would, be called Caucasian. Like it's different. So they have the struggle with maybe the color, the part, but not fully, because they're looking at Americans, but they don't have the same struggle as African Americans, in my opinion. We just don't have the same struggle.
No, my bad. I'm just trying to fix my camera. No, you know what? No, I absolutely agree. But you know something? I'm gonna be real with you. Out of all blacks in the world, I think Black Americans got it the best.
Got what the best?
Opportunity.
Oh,
living space, even down to our hoods, is nothing like the hoods over there. I would say we got it, like, out of any correlation of any other version of blacks, Caribbean, island, African, you name it. Black Latinos, Afro Latinos. I think we got the best opportunities out of everybody.
I think it's more based on where we live, because we're a first world country. It's like saying, it's kind of like saying, okay, you have it better because you're a first world country. Some countries aren't first world countries. It's different when you can walk around and everyone looks like you. Right. You still feel like a second rate citizen, or you don't feel like you're meeting those standards. And we all have different experiences, and that's why I say it's harder even to connect to our own people, because we don't have the same experiences. Lighter people have different experiences. People who are even brighter than me have a different experience than me. I never understand what it's like to be 7 shades darker than me. I don't know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. I know that I'll have more advantages. Yeah, I tell you that. I do know that, even if I'm try to act like that's not true, I know it's true. And so I have to be in acceptance of that, be aware of that, maybe sensitive to it. But I mean, I'm not blind. I mean, but there's also negative sides of being this fair, because then you feel like you don't know where you belong, because nobody wants you. You're too black for the white people. You're too white for you're too black for the white people. You're too white for the black people. So it gets a little confusing out here. So you're
talking about those who are considered, like, I guess what some would say, like the half breeds or whatever. It's like,
oh, absolutely.
What it comes down to is that if I'm not mistaken, which side do they claim more? So if you claim more of this side, then you'll be embraced by that side. If you embrace the whatever side, you'll be embraced by that side more. I'm just going by, the stories I've heard. I don't know how.
Yeah, really. Sometimes. I think that you'll see some women who are, or men who are lighter. It seems like they got to go above and beyond to be ghetto. Yeah. Like they gotta prove it.
Facts.
And I'm like, why we have to do it? And then that's the same with darker people who are around maybe Caucasian families more. You'll see them, they'll go over the board. It's like now they're doing like the extreme of Caucasian things. You're like, so now, okay, so you had to prove it. So now we doing extra stuff. Like, it's like you almost feel like you have to prove that you have to pick a side and prove you're that. So that's could be a possible light skin issue. And it's just hard. It's just hard. So you have to deal with a lot of things as African Americans, I will say, when it comes to mental things. It may be physical things with men. Than if you were somewhere else. There's my opinion. Okay, let's revoke somebody on the soapbox or something.
Let's go ahead and get this. You ready?
Yes, indeed.
Let's see what we got now.
Some brands are using AI to create diverse, customizable beauty filters. AI can help develop shade-inclusive foundations and even design personalized skincare solutions. The key? Using AI intentionally, instead of letting it dictate unrealistic standards. So, is AI helping or hurting beauty standards? The answer depends on how we use it. What do you think? Should AI be redefining beauty, or do we need to take back control?
That's a good question. Should AI redefine beauty, or do we need to take back control? That's right. Should I can take back control of all this handsomeness? Should you take back control of all of that black gorgeousness that you have? Should we take back control, or should we allow AI to continue to go ahead and be the representation of how our beauty standards are set?
What was the really messed up thing to say is AI is only doing what we were doing, just at a faster rate. So our standards, thinking, and our mindset based on what we like to look at, it's based off of us. So we talk about taking it back. If we the ones making it. If the criteria, if the criteria said bigger noses were amazing, like it said, if it said bigger noses were amazing, we kept pushing that. I bet you bigger noses would be in. And now we had touched on something, and I will put this out there. I don't really want to, I do, because I noticed something. Because have you noticed that being plus size, right, has become now it being pushed, right? It's being pushed, regardless of who pushed it, blah, blah, blah. It's being pushed. That is now a beauty standard you see in pageants. Okay. Why would we even in any day and right say that it's not about being plus size? I'm a plus size person. I got nothing to do with it. It's about the fact that the reason why you're plus size is because we're overeating, overindulging, blah, 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 right? So if the standard is that was not okay, and being too small was not okay, being healthy was okay. So they're showing women who are in a healthier place, they're exercising every day, they're doing what they can, they're trying not to overindulge. I'm not talking about the ones who overdo it. And they're saying, oh no, but this is okay too. And so we're changing the narrative, even though we know that does not equate to not necessarily being in the healthiest place. So we're changing it. AI is not changing it. AI is not doing anything but saying, hey, they keep looking at these photos, they keep liking all these things, so it must equate to this is it.
Miss Polly, you know what AI did when they took the voice of black women? They reconstructed it. AI reconstructed the voice of black women. I played this before. Okay. This is a new trend. And I want to hear it. When black women talk, and when we talk, when I'm saying we as far as my sisters, what I'm saying, talk our shit, right? Y'all get this from AI. AI depicts you as this. Okay. And no one saw
at Walmart, now I'm shaped like a melted candle, and the cashier calling security talking about I'm stealing chicken thighs. I just said his lil and his breath smell like hot batteries and sent it to him. I was trying to send it to my cousin. Oh my God, I'm finna fake a seizure. Somebody come get me. Yo, like dead ass. Why everybody always talking about Bigfoot being hard to find? Bitch, I've been here. I'm in the woods. Y'all, court is over R and them MFs made me take a DNA test. Now I'm stressed because what if in either of them baby daddies the daddy? Yeah. Like, what the hell I'm supposed to do now? Okay, y'all, so I'm finally getting my damn hair done. This girl said pull up at 2, it's 4:30, and she talking about something she on the way. Bitch, from where?
Okay, now tell me what I saw, but so you're saying someone made that video?
My bad, I was on mute. No, AI took our likeness. AI took what it feels is my sisters, you all as black women. They took what they feel is our likeness. And if you say AI reconstruct black women talking online, this is what it came up with.
Y'all see it.
I think
Don't
that's
play with me
modified.
today,
So I
play
ain't
with
gonna
your
lie to you.
mama. Hey, bougie baddies, the clinic called and yep, Jaquan right here tested 99% the damn daddy. Don't call me crazy because I matched your location to a bitch house.
Okay, so there's the two things. I do think it's like I said before, if AI is basing it off of the popularity, not popularity, the populace, and it's saying that you hear people say you monkeys and things like that all the time, and black people are monkeys. You're going to see that because AI is taking all the information from everywhere. You hear people say that, so I wouldn't be surprised by that. But I actually think it's modified in some part. It's still the things that people think. If the majority, regardless of we're ourselves, because we call ourselves names, which is ridiculous. When you call
Right.
yourself names, and then we all are saying this. This is the representation of what it is when you take all the information. I don't think AI is necessarily incorrect because it's taking all the information given in all these places based off of populace and what they say. If we call ourselves monkeys, which I hear people do all the time, and you hear our Caucasian counterparts, not everybody, but parts of them say these things, and they say when they say that. But I bet if you put in what do you see as a white person, and you might see, what do they portray? I don't know. So as I said, if it's these things or trailer park trash. You can see that. So it depends. But I don't. Yeah, that's one thing I could think that UI would come up with that. But I haven't done it. I'd have to do it. Now, if I did it, and I put an AI and I put that in, and it came up.
Right.
Because people be playing to get some views. If I said that and that came up, then I would be like, okay, so AI out here being biased. But I think if you just ask that question based on this is me saying based on it taking information for all the places possible, us calling ourselves monkeys and things like that, and what it relates to, I can see why it would generate that. If you want to be honest, not what you want it to be, but to be honest, to think of what it would represent. If you heard all these, you have to take the negative parts. People are like, oh, take all the negative parts and things you hear. If you hear people calling each other monkeys all the time, you hear all this, just like they show us as black people with big red lips.
Right.
So, I mean, and if it depicts that because it's based on what with blah, 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 is depicting still humans information.
Right.
It's still processing the human. I think we got to think we don't take apart that we're the ones who created it. It's taking in what you thought. It's just processing,
I actually have seen that in real time multiple times. So what you're saying actually has a lot of validity. Validity. Goodness gracious, I don't know why I got tongue tied. Nah, you're on point with that. I want to know what you think about this right here. So now that we've gone from the first portion of this, so the first portion is how AI works, how all of this brings about certain headspaces, right? So now let's go ahead.
So wait, City, before you move on, I just thought about something that just hit me.
Talk about it.
Okay, because I know people are like, "Oh, you're just saying that." No, listen. we do it to ourselves. Okay, if I gave you a scenario and I asked you what color this person was, okay, and I give you scenarios, and I'd be like, you would, and this is what the AI does. Remember, it's thinking like you, just different, faster processing, and with more information. That's all it's really doing. So if I was like, would you two people? Okay, no. 3 people come in, say they're a table of 8 because I work in restaurants. We're gonna use this as example. 3 people come in, and they have a table for 8. They come in, they're 15 minutes late. They come in, sit down. 2 more people come, so now we're at 5. 2 more people come in within 10 minutes. You start eating, everyone orders, everyone gets strawberry lemonade, 1 person gets a Coke. Then you have 2 more stragglers come in. So now we're at 7.
Okay.
Another person, everyone's starting to eat. The 2 that stragglers came in ordered late, so their food's coming out second.
Yeah.
Then the last person comes. They're sitting there. They're ordering drinks at the bar. And then when the bill comes, a lot of people say they didn't like the way their food tasted. And they don't want to pay for it, even though they've eaten 3/4 of the meal. 2 people get up and walk out. You thought they were coming back. Maybe they were doing something. They never come back. They say they're splitting the ticket. 2 people are missing their tickets. And they're saying, oh, we weren't paying for them anyway. Who are they?
Party crashers.
Party crash. Now, if I do the same scenario, it'd be like 8 people came in. Maybe they were 5 minutes late, running behind. Maybe, possibly. But everyone comes in. They wait to order.
Yeah.
They wait to order. When everybody gets there, they decide to order. Okay. They do split the ticket between everybody else, but they order at the same time. They get their food, they're having a time, and that's it. That's a regular party. So who's who? If you just get
That's a dope ass analogy right there.
in your mind, regardless if you think it's not fair, because we have.
That's actually some.
Why do y'all say nigga time? Why y'all be like y'all on black people time? Where do these words come from your own people? Make it make sense. AI is doing what you did. Yeah, you can be in denial. We all know we be running behind late most of the time. Not saying everybody, but if it was,
Right.
And if you work in a restaurant, this is actually get upset because when I see that stuff start to happen, I'm like, damn. And I ain't trying to be biased. I'm just like, damn. Everybody got strawberry lemonade, the worst drink to make. Strawberry lemonade, everybody knows strawberry lemonade is the worst drink to get. We have to pay and make that. Every restaurant, nobody's got that made already. We gotta make that. That's a horrible drink to get. It's got too much sugar in it, and y'all drink too fast. Stop.
No. Oh, if you want to say
just
that,
one.
the worst to get is definitely home tea. Come on, man.
I can make
that's
tea
sweet
for
home
you.
tea. That's sweet home tea. Like
I can do that. I'll give you tea. Take your tea. No more strawberry lemonade. F it. I hate straw. Matter of fact, when it's like it makes me so upset that when I see a large amount and once they order like 7 of them, I just say, go ahead and make the picture. Go ahead and make the picture. This is gonna be because you have to make it by hand. If you got to make 7 of them every time you go back there, I mean, at that point, it's a lot. But I'm just saying, it's not being, and you'll say, oh, that's rude. That's profiling. But that is what AI does. That's what FBI does. It's not something that we want to do all the time. You want to obviously hold back those thoughts. But at the end of the day, if these are characteristics that we obviously are sharing with generations and generations, where it's not something that's stopped and fixed. And a lot of it, and I'm not saying it's on purpose, because a lot of these behaviors, when they come to certain restaurants, is because they don't get to go out to eat. You're low income families who don't get to eat out a lot. They don't understand tipping stuff. They don't understand that. They think getting some change, pocket change, is okay. And that's for Caucasian people too. It's not them too. Spanish people do it too. They're not used to tipping. They don't know how to tip because they're not used to going out. You find a family.
No. You know what? A lot of those places, Miss Polly, it's illegal to tip.
There you go.
It's illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not allowed to accept it. Yeah,
because it's rude. Because you're supposed to be doing a job and getting paid to do the job. And if your company's not paying you, I mean, you're not doing your job. You're not staying up to standards. So that really is. It's more of a mind over what's going on. So when I see Asian people come in who are out of country, I already know. Now I'm not saying they shouldn't be mindful because that's fine, but I already know that most likely. It's going to be a lower tip if they do tip, but they're not doing it because they don't like my service. They don't know how much I'm getting paid, and this is not a practice that they do. I'm not offended. I'm not offended even when our people come in.
So don't be mad at the Asian couple, y'all. When they come in, husband, wife, 3 kids, you serve everybody, plus bring extras. You even get their doggy bag set, and they only leave $5. Don't be upset.
I'm just saying. I'm saying you can be sensitive for the day you've been working hard, but the expectation, and they want you to have your expectation high. You give everybody the same service, but I know that it may not be. but I'm going to give someone the same service. But when I know that, you know, if there's a large family coming for a celebration and they're already spending money, I don't know how that is. And then you sit there and grandma gives you $5 for the tip. I know, even though we work for your money, they don't know that a lot of them get to go out, like I said, a lot. And this is something that they've been doing probably for generations. Their mom did that, or cousins do that, and they leave you $5. And I'm like, her giving you $5, it's a lot to her, and she really appreciates, because they always sound very appreciative. And I'm not talking just black people. I'm talking about there are even older people, elderly. They same thing. They be giving you $3, and they be like, "You did such a great job." You be like, "Oh my God, Jesus." You know, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I said these AI though is basically taking all the thoughts, even if they're bad. AI is not looking at it through a filter of emotion, unless you ask it to, and then it's the emotion of a person. It's doing what you asked it to do.
That okay. Now, see, my thing is this though, Miss Polly. When it comes to, all right, now how you said like they expect the same service every time. You know what I love, you know, because now y'all all know me, over 20-something years as a chef, you know, broken record, right? My years working in the restaurant business, you know what I love about it is that it gives the average person just that moment, just that day to feel like king or queen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying right now. Like, and I've seen it. And I've seen how, like, you know, when folks actually really go about it in like a generous way, it's a good communication between the server and the customers. It feels good to know that you was able to go ahead for that day and feel like a boss and throw down a $20 tip or something. You know what I mean? After, like, you know, it is a, you know what I mean? So it's like sometimes for some people, it's just a real quick, instant personal gratification. And I don't think it's anything wrong with that.
You know what?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna say this
like that for a moment. Go ahead, love. You got it.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about because you work there, so you know what I'm saying. Don't think that all these Caucasian people are living it up every 3 fucking minutes and going to every restaurant. A lot of times the trick is when you have money, the trick is you can go to nice restaurants. What you do is, okay, I guess a little trick for y'all, just so y'all know. You go during happy hour. How many people y'all see going there during it? You go at happy hour, you get half off. You're getting the same food that some people get and they pay $10, $12 for appetizers. You're paying $6, $7. You have to go at a certain time. You get there, you have your little drink with your girlfriends, probably half off the drinks. You get your appetizer, you eat your food, and then you're at the same restaurant around those same people. This is also how you can network business-wise. This is a great way how to network. And you can do this at bars. Yeah, you got these ladies out here, y'all trying to promote business and makeup and all this. You guys know women spend the most motherfucking money. Sorry about the language. But you take your ass down to these business things. You go to a business bar where these people go and they sit at the bar and they're trying to maybe meet a guy. You tell them, hey, you know what? I have some perfumes that I sell. You know, you like the way I smell because you've been sitting next to me. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'll give you some. Here's my card. You socialize and you mingle. These are ways to get money. And this is also ways to socialize with people who are above you. And you can see how they move. Not that ghetto, loud stuff. I'm not saying everybody's ghetto who's black. I'm saying there's white women who do the same thing. They be loud. They all red in the face acting up at the bar. Go there, clear-minded. You know what I'm saying? If you need you got to knock some nerve off with a sangria, do what you got to do. Get your little food and you're eating around
not the sangria though.
Knock it off. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And they're you know, and even it doesn't matter who it is, you know, socialize. But that's how you go to these restaurants. I used to hear people say, "I'm always I go to this restaurant every blah blah." I'm like, how are people affording this? They know when to go on happy hour. They know when things are half off. They're going to these expensive restaurants when they have deals. There's a restaurant that you go to on Sunday. You get a meal that's usually like, for one person, it's like $150. You can get it for $79. Not saying that's cheaper, but you can get you're getting an array of things, and it's a la carte kind of place where you just buy each piece. So if you're getting a whole 4-course meal for $70, you're not paying $150. You get to be in an environment. And I also think every person should experience being waited on to that degree. And there's some restaurants, I'm not talking about going to even my restaurant. My restaurant's mid. you go high class restaurant and have that treatment where someone is treating you a certain way and know how that actually feels, it's different. Experience that treatment. So you know you want to reach that place, even if it's not all the time, or anniversary or whatever, have that experience. Be catered to. Very
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
Miss Polly, briefly before I go ahead and pull this video up, earlier what you advertised, give us a re-advertisement. You know we got to give a midway segment to that. What was it about the beats? Yeah, just in case for those coming in late, let's go ahead, keep that ball rolling. We out here to support our own. What you got, love? What you got for us?
Yes. So there's a gentleman goes by Dead Pill. Okay. So DEADPILL. He makes beats, also does some video editing, things like that. He actually can do the whole shebang if you like to. I got some beats done myself. I haven't used them yet, but he has a YouTube channel. You can check out the beats there, and you can go to a link and you can buy samples. And I'm not the smartest person out here, but you can get some samples, ask for some things to be made if you like. He's getting a new catalog together. So if you're interested in having some stuff done, he does really good work and give you a good price. So that's something that I think I want to push for. And you guys can obviously go check out those sites. I didn't put that link there. Good Lord. They dropped the ball. I'm gonna go in here and put it.
So, because we're getting to the main, you got time. I was just saying, because we're getting to the main video. So this is what we're going to get into, because this, and you know what, this is perfect. This is going to round off our good about, hour and a half, hour 45. And we, go ahead and get on out of here, y'all. We're only here for a little bit. We're going to enjoy y'all weekend. I'm going to go ahead, if Miss Polly sees fit, I'm going to drop the link in a little bit. So y'all just go ahead and stay tuned. But we're going to go ahead and get to these videos. Miss Polly, you tell me what you think throughout these videos.
Okay.
Everybody in the chat, tell me what you think throughout these videos. Y'all already know what it is. Make sure that you go subscribe to Miss Queen Sunkiss. Go subscribe to Miss Queen Sunkiss as it's shown right there. Go subscribe to my man Big Dog Barkin. Go subscribe to Dog Barkin as it's typed right there. Go subscribe to my man Bolo TV / The Village as it is typed right there. Go subscribe to Bolo TV and make sure you go subscribe to the Intellectual Soapbox, aka Mr. Best himself in the world as it is typed right there. All right, support our own. They may not like us, but I love us. That will never change. All right, so much respect to the family. Let's go ahead and get to this. I'm going to go ahead and play this first video. Miss Polly, let me know when you want me to push pause. Make sure you type your comments in the chat. I'll be dropping the link in a minute. Much respect to us all.
The conventionally unattractive girlies. You pretty bitches, zip it. Do you ever feel like...
Hold on. What does that mean, you pretty? So you don't think you pretty, sis? So you saying that it ain't a man out there that don't see you as the apple of his eye? Let's start that over. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got, like how you don't see your beauty, girl. Let's go.
Is for the conventionally unattractive girlies. You pretty bitches, zip it. Do you ever feel like you were actually really liked? Like genuinely someone liked you, found you attractive, wanted to be around you? Like, I feel like in my existence, I've never been actually liked. I feel like I've always been like a placeholder for someone trying to get to somebody else. I just want to know, has anybody else like felt that way? Like, have y'all ever been like genuinely liked?
What happens when impossible beauty standards collide?
What's your thoughts? Yeah, I see your face. I see it. Yeah, we're gonna go through it. Look, we got about 17 minutes of there. Don't worry about it. Yeah, what's your thoughts on this? Fix your face, girl.
I won't say my own personal thing, but I'll say this.
Okay.
Women who don't find themselves attractive or don't think they're attractive, and not everybody's gonna be the baddest, right?
Right.
You might not be the baddest to everybody, regardless if you're cute or not. So the thing is, it's like they think the other side's better. And everyone knows that most of the girls, all men usually say, you hear them say all the time, oh, the ones who are the most insecure is the good looking ones. It's and I think it's based in a lot of the fact that you have to look at it from the other side. Think about yourself as a pro woman and think about it as if you were attractive. Yeah, you begin by talking. But first off, how do you know if somebody actually really likes you? Most men are attracted to you because they want to have sex with you only. So they ain't thinking about nothing. They ain't ask you nothing else. They're attracted to you sexually. So now you don't know who actually likes you for you. You gotta guess. They might not like you at all. Matter of fact, a lot of guys will say, "Yeah, she just cute, man, but she talk. I don't like her. We don't like talk. Don't like do nothing with her, but she's something to look at. Lost value. Like you have to see the other side and to know that someone likes you based on something that changes over time. You will not look the same forever. So he likes me today. How about in 5 years? Think about the pressure that is.
Whoa. Now hold on. So what would you say is your personal advice to women when it comes to when the looks slowly start to fade and girl, you know what's happening. You notice that them titties are starting to look like, you know what I'm saying, 2 melons that's dropped in a pair of stockings. It's okay. You notice that that face starting to sag a little bit, that neck starting to thicken up. What would you say when the looks are gone that they're supposed to do to keep up the same effect, to have the same effect on the man, even though the looks are now starting to fade? Or should they already be in position and just out of the market, period? And girl, if you still out there, I feel for you.
Let me tell you something.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
So y'all know nostalgia, right? Y'all know what that about. If you don't know, we don't talk about it. Nostalgia is men live in nostalgia. So once they see you how you are, that's how they visualize you for a long period of time, right? God say he always sees you that way. He always sees you that way. He's seen you since you were young, or we saw when you was a baddie. Every time he sees you, that's what he sees. And when he sees his wife, he just sees that person, even though she gained weight. That he remembers you in that place, right? Okay. So when you see somebody in that mind frame, you're like, that's the person that I remember. Well, if men live in that space of nostalgia, if you as a woman offer
What's up, girl?
all that stuff,
Okay, so all right, I gotta get off the phone.
if they offer doors, if you offer all those things to offer, because like let's say you don't think you're that attractive, right? That's why you had to have other qualities. You must have other qualities. You just have to. Because maybe you didn't find your man when you was at your best. Even when you were 20, maybe you didn't look that great at 20. And you look better when you're 25, 26. You really have to have other things about you, other qualities that would be helpful. Or some men like conversation. Some men like, helpmates. Some men like this or that. You have to have other qualities that you can keep up with. First off, let's talk about that. Okay, keep up with. And so if you're gonna not be that attractive, there's other things about you that you can give as a person, as a partner, as an equal person in the relationship. If you are an attractive person and you're worried that in 10 years you're not going to look the same, you need to really take heed to being who you are when they see you the first time, because he's going to remember you as that, right? He's going to remember you as that forever. So he sees you, he's like, oh, that's the person. I remember her that way always. I think a lot of women who find their partners early in life, that's really what they're banking on, because they could get a lot of them gain weight, blah blah blah, and he still sees her as that. Even when you'll see, they say the women go back around when they 30s and stuff like that, they turn back around and be like, oh hey, I used to talk to you, or you had a crush on me back in the day. He's like, oh yeah, I remember that. You were so fine. And she may not look the same. She might have other kids, but he still sees her as that person. So a lot of women even bank on nostalgia when they're out in the dating world, because they know they look a certain way or they were like a certain way.
So wait a minute. So you trying to tell me that's the reason why y'all be sending guys pictures from back when
that's
you
why
graduated?
A lot of women do. Yeah.
They be sending them graduation pictures and it's like 15 years later.
What when if you saw me when I was a teenager and I sent you a picture of me and you sitting next to each other, it literally puts
Mm,
you back in that space of when you were at your prime too.
right.
And don't you reminisce with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm saying that's what
Right.
happens. And why not revisit? Because you remember her as that person. A lot of these women have that going for them. A lot of men thought they
Mhm.
were attractive back in the day. So those women will bank on the fact that they was hot stuff back in the day. If you weren't hot stuff back in the day, you need to have other qualities. You cannot just pretend that, first off, you might be cool. Like, nobody's saying nobody wants to date someone attractive because people do it all the time. It's fine. But there's other qualities about you that offset the things that maybe someone doesn't like. And I think that's the thing we want to be in denial of, is that
Mhm.
people can like someone for the wholeness. You hear guys say, well, I don't really care if she's this, as long as, there's certain things about her that I value, I like, and I'm fine with that. And that people say, well, it's settling. I don't think it's settling when you're fine. Like, it's just what it is. We ain't gonna all look the same. It ain't gonna all be hot forever. And
Right.
it is
Right.
what it is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, all right. All right. So let's look at this piece right here and let's see what we got. I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now was 9:16 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. I thank you all for tuning in. Let's get back to it. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Ooh, let me pull this back up. My bad. I had to make sure that I got my situation straight as far as the signal.
Powerful compilation of voices discussing one of the most pressing issues of our time: how modern beauty standards are affecting women's self-worth and relationships. From unrealistic social media filters to the psychological impact of male validation, these creators tackle the uncomfortable truths about attractiveness, confidence, and what it means to exist in a world that often judges worth by appearance. Some of these perspectives might challenge you, others might resonate deeply, but all of them deserve our attention. This isn't just about beauty, it's about humanity, self-acceptance, and the courage to question the systems that shape how we see ourselves and others. Get ready for raw, honest conversations that don't shy away from the complexities of modern dating, self-image, and the journey toward genuine self-worth.
For my ugly slash convention attractive girls, I have a question. How do you find the confidence to keep being yourself and keep being you, day to day, despite everything you see in the media and like around you in life in general? I feel like my self-confidence, especially since I've moved here, keeps wavering. Some days I'm like, oh, I like myself. But then other days I'm like, oh, I don't really like the way I look. And I'm getting very tired of this. I'm getting tired of the way my brain
Well,
is.
you pause there.
I turn 25 next.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, I was waiting for that. Go ahead. What you got for that? Self-confidence.
That's the problem. Our confidence, we teaching our little girls and children, our confidence in who we are is merely based on our physical appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I never really thought about how I look per se. I was like the tallest in every grade until after like middle school. So I was like always in the back line. I'm like not that tall, but I got that tall fast. So when you have these situations where these women are they only value themselves by what they look like, and that's why they're modifying. Your body changes over time, blah blah blah. And the thing is, why are we only valuing ourselves physically? Like, do you know how to do anything? Like, can you write something? Can you make something? Can you create something? We are creators. Women are the creators of so many beautiful, wonderful things. And why aren't we valuing our creativity? Why? And we don't value anything else but what we look like. That should be an extra. That should be an extra. It just should be. You should really
So that's a
value who you are
plus.
as a person. I think your appearance is your plus. It should be your plus. Like I said before, you have to put yourself in the other. Most people don't put themselves in a situation where they're attractive. You don't know the woes of an attractive person. Most women do not understand the woes of attraction. They think, oh, it's so easy. You get someone to talk to you. There's other things that come with that. Not sure someone really likes you. That, you know, they might just like the way you look. If that changes, what happens? What happens if I get in a car accident and my face gets tore up? You won't leave me. What if, you know what I'm saying? There's so many factors to those things that you're very insecure. When the only thing you can bet on is something that doesn't stay the same. Your security isn't something that's ever changing.
But let me ask you this though, Miss Polly. So what would you say it is exactly that allows most women, or let's say young ladies for the most part, let's start there. What would you say allows most young women to think that they have to lead with their looks, just like we tell men not to lead with their wallets? Yeah.
Because you get reaction from what you look like.
Okay.
You get movement by what you look like. Some women don't have to say anything. By the way they look, they get treated a certain way. We know that.
Right.
So if you get movement, how can you get movement like that? I'll fix it. I'll change it. Because when men see that, they do something. Even if the reasoning, whatever, you know, people go back and forth with that argument of, you know, we don't really like that, we like natural, but okay, but you still see movement. Regardless if he likes her or not, you see movement. Those same women that have BBLs, they get trips. Oh, juice for sex. Okay. Oh, but that's not the, see, you're wanting someone who cares about movement, cares about action, to care about reason. That doesn't make sense at all. So it's not gonna make sense. It's not gonna make sense to women.
Okay.
You know, I see you, you know how they even tell us, don't they tell you that? They say, women, if a man wants you, he gonna do it. If he gonna do it, you gonna see action. Okay, I see action. I see him moving. What does that mean? Oh, it doesn't mean anything because he's just doing it for the ass that he's moving.
That's a good point.
And remember that's us being intellectual, but not everyone is thinking beyond what I just said. No one else is like, okay, well, yeah, they just doing that for your little ass. In the day, he gonna hit it as many times as he can, and then he gonna move on to the next one. They don't see that. And then the women think, oh, that's an easy cash out. Okay, well, at least if I do give it out, at least if I do get this, blah, 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 I'm gonna go get me a car, my bills paid. Okay. And then the one who didn't do all that, she's sitting there looking stupid because the movement is made. And they feel like they won because they got action. You can't deny that. I mean, I don't understand.
Touche, Miss Polly. Touche. I can't. Hey, touche. I gotta give you that. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and get back to the video. The time right now is 9:22 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. I thank you all for tuning in. Let's listen up to this next segment. Let's see what we got on this one. You just crushed it on that one. She just dropped straight gems. Let's get it.
Next month. 25 years is too many years to feel this way about myself. I feel like I've had enough. And whilst I feel like I don't care about what people, you know, perceive me or what they think of me, I feel like it's me, myself, and how I see my reflection.
Oh, this is the $1 million question. Watch this. We say that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. I'm gonna give you a tough one. All right.
Okay.
It's all right. Would most guys find her to be a 10? And if not, why? Why? Why not? Why is she not a 10? Why is she not the standard of beauty?
Because that's not the standard. That's the beauty in America. That's what it is. Even if it is what it is.
It is what it is, right? Real shit.
Yeah. She should have other. That's why it's important. I think the ladies out here should learn skills. And I mean, whatever skill fits best for you. You're not all good at the same things.
Mm-hmm.
If your skill is making a man feel like a king, he probably gonna pick you. He gonna pick you if he likes that, if he values that. Because even though there might be a girl he finds very, there used to be a thing, but they used to say the wives never looked that attractive. It's here all the time. Wives, they're not supposed to be like the sexy thing. They're supposed to be like the 7, the 5s, the 6, the 5, the 6, 7 kind of pushing it. That range right there, that's your wives. Why are the ones who are desired as wives the lower numbers?
Look.
Because they have other skill sets. Because they can't depend on their looks to get results. They have to depend on other things, and that's why those 5 to 7s or almost 7s. You know why? Because they are aware of they're cute enough, but they need to probably go to school and get some things and have a backup one, and have some other skills. They're pretty sure of that because the sexual stuff it'll last for a while, but it won't last forever. Because they're always going to be, you're relying on something that fades. And that's including those other things that we talk about. Those girls can be the baddest in bed. You always hear them like, oh, I got that bad. I'm so good in bed. Okay, then why your man cheating on you?
So, Miss Polly, let me ask you this. My bad, real quick. So, why is it that for whatever reason, like there's no identification when it comes to like truly what a person wants in a relationship as far as their needs? Like you should want your needs, and I believe that a lot of times that all comes down to what people want more so than what they need. It's more so of a lusting factor than an actual love factor. So even down to beauty being in the eyes of the beholder, the fact is that a lot of people just have a more so lustful, let's say pink cloud version of how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to be, as opposed to what it really is supposed to be. You know what
instant gratification.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about it. You got it. There you go. I got you.
Instant gratification. Everybody wants the now moment. The generation now, and even the ones who weren't born in this generation, are now flourishing off of instant gratification, the instant high. And no one knows how to keep the high. So you just keep searching for another high. Love has turned not into something that is strong and withholding and pushing and tough. It's turned into basically a source of a drug addiction. I got you now. I have the high. It no longer has the effect over a year. I have to find a new high. That's all it is. Just you going from one drug to the next till you no longer can even get a high. Then you give up. Then you go back to, oh, maybe I should be with someone because they're going to help me pay bills, or I don't want to die alone. Love has died because it no longer is something that's worked on. It's something that you learn through trials and tribulations, through not giving up. Now it's based off of the temporary high you get and how long it'll last. Then when it dies, you find another one. And that's why people feel replaceable. Because they are.
Nah, this is awesome. So yeah, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. The time right now is 9:28 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get through the last 10 minutes of this video right here. I appreciate the time of Miss Polly. I appreciate the time of everybody for tuning in. Let's go ahead and keep on watching. Let's see what we got.
And I've been doing things to change that, but I feel like I can be doing a lot more. I think another thing is that I feel as if I wait for permission to do certain things. I don't know if it's the youngest Nigerian child thing, but I feel like that's also holding me back a lot. Like I've been not super attractive for 25 years now. I just feel like my brain should be, used to it and not keep telling me things about myself, but it still does. I'm trying to get it to stop. And I know therapy would most likely help me, but I cannot afford that right now. I'm going to a day party tomorrow, and at first I was kind of excited, but now I'm just dreading it because I just know how I'll start to think and how I will start to feel. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm tired of this. I just want to change here. If someone could take out my brain and do some little like surgeries and then put it back, that would be good.
That sounds like she never took time to learn who she is. And this is why I'm always a big advocate of chase who you are and learn your purpose. What do you mean, like, if somebody can come and change what? What do you need
Her
somebody
thought process.
Okay. All right. So basically she needs somebody else to influence her on how she should move, right? Is
I
that
think
what
she,
it is?
I think she wants someone to make her feel that being who she is good enough.
Mm.
Acceptance of what it is. I think a lot of it is not accepting. I mean, and that's why people start modifying themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if she got surgery done in a year. A lot of times it's either they're just scared something's gonna go wrong. I heard this gentleman told me something. I asked him does he like BBLs, right? And he had told me, he said, I do love it. I love that. I said, oh, okay. I said, okay, it's interesting. I said, well, why? And he said, well, the thing is, I'm a little off. I was like, okay. And he's like, and if they will put themselves in situations where they modify their bodies, they must be a little crazy too. So we match. Like, holy shit. I was like, that makes sense. He's like, they're just as crazy as me. And I was like, why would you put your life on the line? Something like that. He said, so I don't even see it as a sexual thing. I see it as, they're a little crazy too. And I thought that was interesting the way to think about it. He thinks you're crazy, ma'am. He thinks that if you are modifying yourself every 3 years, that you must be delusional to some degree. And that makes him feel like he's on equal playing ground with you.
So this is like something I guess they would call somewhat under the category of like not gender dysphoria, but I guess like self-identity dysphoria, maybe.
I feel like she's Americanized, or trying to be Americanized. Like she said, if you're from Nigeria, you come here, ain't nobody look like you. So you're self-hating. If she was at home, she would think she looked like everybody else. She'd be fine. I want to say that you should go take some time and go back home for a little bit.
Minute, so you try and tell me that she came all the way over here and recognized that my sisters look better than any other form of sisters on planet Earth? You try and tell me
recognize they look better. I think she recognized that people don't find how she looks as attractive. So she thinks that if she changes herself,
Miss Polly, that means look better. That means that means look better.
In her eyes.
That's what it means.
But that's in her eyes. I mean, okay, let me put this out there.
Go ahead. Go ahead, talk about it.
There's something, Mexican women they're cute, small women. They have boxy shapes naturally. They just box. And even they ain't boxy when they're young and they look like Selena. Usually when they have kids, they turn to a box. Okay. They box and they usually have a particular kind of facial. It's not saying everybody looks exactly the same, but it's like this is just what their genetics look like, right? So I don't particularly think that's the most hottest thing in the world. That doesn't mean that she's not attractive to the guy down the street who lives and sees women like that every day. They see women like that every day. Ma'am, if you went home, everyone most likely has very similar aesthetics like you. And half the women here, they don't look like that. You have to remember that. Women are getting surgery at 17 and 16 now. You're getting nose jobs at 16. These women do not look like this. I'm not saying every woman, but a lot of these they don't have.
You're telling me that's legal?
If their parent signs off on it, they can get boob jobs and nose jobs at 16. And I'm telling you this. Now, this may not be the best for our minorities, because like I said, but that's changing with money changing pockets here. Okay, I lived in a very Caucasian area, lived in the Cocoa Beach. Okay, I'm telling you, these girls are getting things done when they're 16. Nose job, 16. Talking about they can't breathe. That's BS. They can breathe just fine. Okay, lying so they can get surgeries. These women don't even look like they supposed to look. Oh, I don't like this. They're getting these things done. All those Kardashians, they've been getting stuff done since they were like 16 years old. These women do not look like that. So you're basing your idea of what looks attractive to you off of things that don't come out. You're not born like that. Half of them have some features that are attractive, but not all of them. So it doesn't make sense to have standards that are beautiful that don't come organically. And the women who do look like that naturally, there's not 1,200 of them in a city. And all these women look alike. Don't lie to me. All these women, ain't nobody. You used to think uniqueness. When you look pretty, you were unique. When you had freckles, you were unique. When you had dimples, you were unique.
That's a fact.
These women are getting dimples surgery.
That's a fact.
Dimples, I don't even know who got a dimple, real dimples. They got the fake, the surgery. Your eye color surgery. These women, then they got cat eyes surgery.
I just actually heard about that. The dimple surgery. I just recently,
Yes.
I never even, and come to find out, yeah, that's like what, a defect in the face, right?
Listen, it's not real, okay? Like, I have dimples. Like, I don't even think about them. When people tell me I have, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. I don't think about that crap. It's a default. This is an imperfection. Okay, that's cute. Y'all think it's cute. I don't really paying attention to it. Like, but realistically, that's not like. That's like there's some places that I think there are some traits like having the lips, having your lip that plate in your lip. They think that's attractive. Like, go to the place where you look attractive. If you're worried about not feeling good about yourself, take your ass to a place where people look like you when they're born. I don't understand. I'm not saying you have to leave, but I mean, it doesn't make sense to keep modifying yourself when you're a plane ticket away. Let's just get it together. You pay for the plane ticket and be happy. I don't know. It just that just sounds wild to me.
Okay. So when it comes to the whole, like, look like somebody like yourself, why, for whatever reason, is it that most people rather look like anything but themselves? Why folks want to look like us? Why we want to look like white folks? Why white folks want to act like us? Why we want to act like white folks? Because we do that dumb shit. That's all. I'm just saying. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I think it's natural. I think it depends on culturally. I think that there's certain attributes that men are attracted to and women are attracted to. And those things come naturally. And we emphasize or overemphasize those things. Like, someone pointed out to me that, like, okay, you remember Martin? And everybody thought, not Gina. What's the other one? Pam. Pam had a nice butt. If you look at Pam's butt today, I don't know if you can pull it up.
She's skinny.
She's skinny, but everyone thought she had a big butt. She was known for having a big butt. Look at her butt now compared to any other celebrity. She has no butt at all.
Videos, if you go back to a lot of the Luke videos and everything, the 2 Live crew, a lot of them women weren't the size of women today.
No.
They were not.
Right. So why are we emphasizing something that guys obviously like the size it was? Why do we have to make it 10 times bigger? I don't like, because you're getting a reaction. That's the only thing I can think is that basically at this point there's a reaction. The reaction is positive, and we all want that reaction. That's the only reason why I would think that someone want to do that. Above your natural state. I don't think that looks natural. There's sometimes when they do all that stuff, like having those big giant lips, having their everything has to it's so excessive. Everything has to be big. I feel like I'm in Texas everywhere I go. I just, it don't have to be big. Nothing, it don't have to be big to be good.
Well, I mean, I think it's all about I don't think it's about praising the big. I think it's about the stage of inclusion. Making sure everybody is included. That's all. Just it's more so about
God, participation. To my participation flags.
Basically, Miss Polly, yes.
Like, listen, there has to be losers. Okay, it's okay to lose. It's okay to not be the best. I need everyone to accept that. It's actually very okay, because if you know you're not good at it, go do the thing you're good at. We are not all meant for the same path. God did not give us all the same gifts. We don't believe in God. That's fine. You are not given the same abilities. Do something else. Why are we all in the race for the same damn title? And there's other damn awards to be won. You saw Beyonce. She stopped. She said, "Oh, you don't. I can't win all the hip hop and art." She took ass the country. Get into the right lane for you. Go to another category. You don't always have to be in the same category as everybody else to win a prize. Okay, damn. Y'all not good cooks. Okay, you're not all good at this and that and that. Just get in your lane and be happy. Lord, it's a lot. Okay, just want everybody to just breathe about it and stop trying to compete for the same flag. Like if you look, the women look all alike. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like it's to the point where they're like anybody who looks. Now it's kind of extreme. So it'll be like they all kind of look a certain way, but then there are a few that look crazily different. And you're like, oh, they're beautiful too. So now that's why I say AI can't figure it out because you just said the lady who has vitiligo is just as cute as the Kardashian. How's that as confusing? That's you just said that you want all your skin to be same color, or you want all your eyes look a certain way, and then like you said, like now we have. There's like, sorry, what is that? Fetishes where there's fetishes for people who have Down syndrome. Now, like, where is the beauty standard at? There isn't any. You just want everybody to get a participation flag. We can't all be winners, okay? And it's okay. And I just accept it's okay. Be okay. I can be cute in my heart, and that's it. Just say in your heart. That's the best way to say it. I'm cute sometimes in my heart. It's fine. And then move on.
All right. Now, hold. No, okay. All right. Now, that all goes back to exactly what we were talking about earlier when it comes to that confidence and where does it start and where does it end? Or did it ever begin in the first place? Did they ever even in the first place have that confidence to, you know what I'm saying?
Depends. I think it starts at home. And your parents showing you what the value is. I wasn't shown value on looks. I was shown value on education. To be honest, I thought, oh my gosh, if I can't have a conversation with somebody, no one's gonna think I'm cool. Like if I didn't know all this stuff, who would hang out with me? Like that's what I think. I didn't think stuff.
So how much would you say, men? How much would you say as a woman? Your asset is between looks and being able to mentally stimulate. That man that wants good mind stimulation, good discussion, good convo, and just kick it and cool it, that be easy type mode. Would you say that is something that's more attractive to most men from your personal experience? Or would you say, nah, overall, it comes down to the looks, and if you don't have that, or if you start to lose it, then they out the door?
Yeah, I mean, when you start to lose it, a lot of men are out the door because that's all they were looking for in you at that time. But the men who are more serious about having wives and long relationships, they want more. And that's what I was talking about back before when I said the wives. The wives are usually between fives and sevens. I might be even lower. They even say, "Oh, I ain't trying to get no 9 to be the wife." That's not because they even know that okay, like there's other things I value.
That makes nothing. You can't tell me some grown men with sense actually said that out their mouth, Miss Polly. You really saying?
A grown man say that. They say that all the time. You should go on the streets. You know what I mean? Like, they say they like a 9, but they say they cause problems. But then they want them, and then they cause problems and they crying. So they don't really want them. And every one of them who get a little burnt by a 9, they don't want no more. They play with them. They don't stay with them. Unless I'm saying for the majority. I'm not saying it doesn't happen where they have a nice looking wife that's a 9, and they have a nice looking wife, and she has other things. That's what I'm saying. You can't just have that. She has other things. She has perfected more than just that.
I'm gonna give you that. Okay, all right, back.
Okay, if she's a 9, she's got more happening. because that shit's gonna, she ain't gonna look like that forever. But she ain't. And they know that.
All right, I like it. I like it. Let's look at this last little bit of this
Okay.
video.
Yeah, then I have to run away. I apologize.
Yeah, nah, I gotta go ahead and chill out with my folks. So we on the same mission. Let's rock out. Let's do this.
Or you can take out my eyeballs and I can put other eyeballs
We got this last skit after this one.
that I can see myself. So hopefully that will change the way I perceive myself. Either way, I want to really focus this next year on changing myself and bettering myself. I don't know if I should document that. And also, before anyone comments, oh, but you're not, you don't look. This video is not for that. I just wanted to yap and get this off my chest.
Trust me when I say this. I know where the girls are coming from when they say to decenter men.
So in your video, you say that men don't take the time to get to know you because you don't have social currency, which you equate to thinness. You can't offer that, and so men don't take the time to get to know you as a real person. And you think that if you lost weight, then they would look at you as a person. What you're mistaken in is that you think that these men are looking at the women they're with as people. They're not. You're looking at this as a woman would, from a woman's perspective. Women value what kind of person our partners are. We value what the way they think, the way their compatibility. We think about those kinds of things. Men don't. Men are more likely to stay with women that don't have the same political views, don't have the same. They think that they can. Woman to want kids now. She'll want them with I will convince her to have them. Or it doesn't matter if she wants a completely different life than me. She will
Miss Polly. I can see your face.
I don't
Go
know
ahead.
what you're talking about. No. I mean, but you know what? And this is gonna be like she's a Caucasian woman. I have no
Apparently
idea
she's
her
saying that
struggle.
men don't look at y'all as human. You know?
I just said that she's a
She's-
Caucasian woman. I don't know her struggle. Listen, and I mean that with all respect, because what she's saying that she gets devalued on, we know that if you don't know the racial construct white women have higher. And they will, they be heard more than everybody. Let's be honest. So when she's saying like they don't care, they're gonna if they want children, they're gonna change your mind. I ain't met a Caucasian man who said something like that ever in my life. I ain't never heard that before. I never heard one to say, "Oh, they're like, yeah, she doesn't want kids, but you know what? She gonna get with me. She gonna want these kids." I never the struggle she just said. I've never heard one Caucasian say those struggles. They don't sound like they exist. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Never heard anyone. Usually those women, they run it. Well, happy wife, happy life came from a Caucasian couple. That was not anybody else. And I don't mean that in a racial way. I'm just being honest. You don't really hear that anywhere else. And you hear it's like a joke, but like we don't hear that anywhere else. That's not how it works. In other cultures, you don't hear that. So they don't say happy wife, happy life. You hear that from usually Caucasian. There. So when she's saying the struggle, says, I don't know. But if we were just saying men, they say men don't care about that stuff. Most men are modifying themselves to be attractive to women. So then that wouldn't make sense. So women say they want men to, I'm saying in the atmosphere around, but most women want men who have this much money, feel stable, all those things. Men will go out and do that so they can get a wife and children. And then they say, oh, well, she doesn't care about too much more. He's not thinking about that. He probably wants the same 7 things that most men say they want. That's all in general. A family, stay with their wife, take care of things. So when you have those basic needs met, he don't care if you want to be, if you want to go to a rally and he doesn't care. Ma'am, he doesn't care because he already has the needs that he needed. The base needs met. They're not that difficult. So he doesn't care about the rest. you value the rest, and you want him to value what you value the same level, and he just doesn't. That's just what that is. He doesn't care, and that's okay because it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. You going to a rally does not change the fact that he's got to pay these bills. And he don't care. Okay, so stop crying about it because you want him to go with you and be on your side, and he tells you he doesn't agree, and you're like, "Oh my God, you don't care about me." He doesn't, man. He doesn't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
He don't care. That means he doesn't, because he's worried about the base needs. He's worried if you guys have lights. He's worried if your health is okay. He's worried about other things that mean something other than you caring about what color the fucking, the couch is. He don't care. Doesn't matter. So it's just like you said, like we have to recognize as women, we care deeply about things that we have to worry about. And they say, most women walk around la la la. That's all racist. And that's true, because we don't worry when we walk in a room if this is going to happen to us. We don't think about those things. And so when men are in a protective mode or place, they think about things that we don't think about. And so they're worried about things we don't think about. You know what I'm saying? So you're asking someone to have the same level of concern as you about things that they don't prioritize as important. And they really don't matter, because the fact that you want pot sets and he's not going to Target with you is not, the things that are needed. That's what matters. And so, no, I mean, I'm saying this, and I do it too. I do it too. Are you not alone, ladies? No, I'm not picking on you. I'm doing it too. I'm being guilty of talking craziness, and I hear this man don't want to talk to me no more. And I'm like, oh, you don't want to hear that. I don't even know why I went on for 20 minutes about shit you don't want to hear. You sound like that was too much. I apologize. He don't care. He cares because I care. And see, that's the worst part. He cares because I care, and he wants me to feel like he cares, but he really don't. And women, y'all do the same thing. You don't care that he talking about cars and shit. You look so disinterested in his basketball. You get up, you walk out the room. I don't even hear about that, man. But if he said that to you, it would be hell to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's be honest. You don't have to care at the same level as you, because you don't care when it's the opposite way. These are just things that it is, and you accept it and push forth. And it's okay.
I'm sorry, if you don't mind, before we get up out of here on our final thoughts, I would just like one of these go ahead round.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
Yeah, you gotta get one of them.
No,
that was smack on point. There is a lot of one-sidedness that takes place. Because I appreciate you. I'm on my way over there. But
yes.
Yeah. So final thoughts on this. I'm gonna go first because I want you to, I want ladies to end it off on this one. I definitely believe that the beauty standard has been absolutely shifted simply because of social media, because of the standards that have been put out there, because of filters. Filters have definitely messed up a lot of things. I believe that everybody wanting to be somebody else other than themselves and trying to find themselves has really messed things up. So on my personal view of it, I just believe that it's more so of a factor that you need to figure out who you are. And this is why I'm real big on it. I don't just say it for the men, although I am a man. No, chase your purpose, figure out who you are. And when you do that, you'll find yourself in a much better place of peace when it comes to how you look. If your nose a little crooked, your ears a little big, whatever it is that's going on, you'll just find a lot of peace within yourself the more that you start to detract and retract from basically any and everybody that's not you. The more you try to keep up with people that's not you, is the more that you will be in a circumstance that you find yourself in a very much so mental state of disarray. You'll find yourself, really still trying to figure things out. And really, you should have been figured it out, but it's that you're trying to figure it out through exterior motives. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. I thank you all for tuning in. Miss Polly, what you got before we get up out of here, beloved?
Yeah. It's really. Oh Lord, that's not call to attention now. But I would say, I definitely think that they've been modified. People don't want to look at themselves, and then they look at the mirror and actually see who they are currently with age, and they look, especially women. They I don't think they actually seen themselves. No, I've seen people with their whole pages filled of filter. Like, do you know what you look like?
Mm-hmm.
And that could be devastating when you're aging. It's almost like you should ask. I think we should ask some of these actresses, how does it feel when you go back and you look at yourself 20 years ago? You don't look the same. And so it's like I said, not everybody's built for the same thing. And so it's just kind of, it's taking a mental toll on everyone. And the thing is, technology moves so fast, we don't have time to adjust. Once you start to adjust, something new happens. And so at this point, it's getting to the point where you can't kind of keep up.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's where we are. But overall, it probably should be some modification to it. And like realism is gone. Like, is anything real anymore? So that's a good question, And so having those real moments with real people, hopefully people value those things. But I do. And so we'll go from there. But I appreciate being on the show. Thanks for having me. I know we all got other things to do, and thanks for spending time.
You already know. I'm just gonna say this last small piece. When you said about the realism, what I notice nowadays is that when actual, authentic, genuine realism comes in the face of people, it's usually rejected, it's usually spat on, and it's usually mocked. I digress. My mic is muted. Respect to the family.
Yeah, for sure, Smitty. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, we got to just change up some shit, bro, sometime. You know what I'm saying? We got to come with different flavors and vibes. And the fact that you want to come hang with us, bro, you more than welcome, bro. Don't be a stranger, please. Like, because I've been hearing about you, seeing you on other panels and shit, holding it down. You feel me? I ain't never heard no bullshit about you. That's for sure.